Hey folks, I'm Coach Mike. This is the EMDEM Show, courtesy of EMDEM Canada Multimedia Group, and brought to you by our good friends at EmDeM Life Arkitex, where we build better bodies and we create better lives. So I hope you guys are doing great. We're just off the Blue Jays, who won the American League Division Series, not the American League Champion. I think it's the American League Divisional Series over the Yankees yesterday. So that was a big boost for Canada. Hockey started yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before? It was on Tuesday. Hockey started, so the NHL season's starting, and the Major League Baseball season just coming to an end. Football's kind of in mid-drift in the Canadian Football League, and then the NFL's getting going as well. So we got a whole bunch of sports going on right now for you athletes out there. As you can see, I am doing this because I'm an ex-athlete, and I'm doing this because I've helped people my whole entire life. And I love running a podcast. I always wanted to have my own podcast show or my own TV show, and here you go. So brought to you by our friends here at EmDeM Life Architects. What do they do at EmDeM Life Architects? We create better bodies, and we build better bodies and create better lives. So what does that mean? I was thinking at the gym today. I made a video at the gym. How do you build a better body? So all the body parts on your body you can work on separately. So if you don't have any muscle on those right now, which if you're an ex-athlete, the muscle's there somewhere, or you could be in great shape, how you sit right now. So from your wrists, we will strengthen your wrists, your forearms, to your bicep, to your shoulder, to your trap, both sides. Strengthen your neck. You could even strengthen your face muscles by doing face exercises, facial exercises to keep everything kind of like moving around in your face. You can do that type of stuff. And then we build your traps I talked about, your upper back down to your lower back, to your mid-core range here, your pectoral muscles up here. They got upper and lower pectoral muscles, and then your abs in here. And then from there, we go to your glutes, which is your butt, then your quadriceps, then your hamstrings, and then your bottom lower legs are your calves and your shins and your ankles. So there's exercises to work on all of this stuff. Strength training exercises to tone up the muscle. Yes, there's muscle there somewhere to tone up the muscle in each of these areas. We do balancing techniques, we do stretching techniques, we do breathing techniques, show you how to do all this. And this is how you build your body. And then we add the nutrition. The nutrition plan is very important because that adds the fuel to the inside of your body, which creates the external physical appearance. If you put a bunch of junk into your fuel tank, which is your mouth, and again, in your eyes, in which you hear through all your senses, but the food's most important. If you put God-made food into your body, what's God-made food? God-made food is natural food. Anything that occurs naturally is made by God. So what does that mean? Yes, vegetables. Yes, fruits. Yes, meats. Those things. All those things. Meats, vegetables, fruits, anything that you can grow. That is growing, that is living, simple as that. And then there's combinations depending on your body type. There's different combinations depending on your workout to get energy, to not get energy, and all these days. And water, pure water as well for the hydration part. So we help you do this. Everybody, I believe, knows somewhat what to do, but the question is, why don't we do it? And that's the topic for discussion here today. Why don't we do it? What's holding us back from doing it? What's stopping us from doing it? And this book right here, again, if you go to the link down here where it has Grow Rich Life, you'll be able to get this book right here by Napoleon Hill, and the foreword was by Russell Brunson. And if you get inside this privileged area, because I want everybody, I'm just not doing this for my own good and my own well-being, because if I were to just look after myself and be totally selfish, that would be way too easy, and it wouldn't be fulfilling, because I need to give back to other people. I need to help other people. The only way I'm truly fulfilled, and the only way you're really truly going to be fulfilled, is if you give back to other people. give back to communities, give back to teams, give back to people. And yes, I'm going to get paid for it, of course. I've done, I don't know, thousands and thousands of hours. I was talking to a friend the other day about volunteering. It's like, you volunteered before? Like, obviously you don't know it. It's like, nobody knows people's story. I've volunteered thousands of freaking hours my whole entire life. That's another probably $5 million that God owes me. But it's, again, you do it because you give back to society, you give back to communities, you give back to other people, not even monetarily, plus with your time. Your time is priceless. So I've done it, and I'll keep this show right here. If anybody's watching this show, this is giving back. This is giving you free value, free nuggets, free motivation, free inspiration to show that if a guy from Regina, Saskatchewan can do this, then you can do this without any experience of doing any radio broadcasting or media broadcasting or any acting lessons or any of this kind of stuff. I'm just going on here, being myself, talking to you guys through this video camera right there, and the microphone right here, and then these babies right here. And you got to have light. You have to have the proper lighting. You got to position the video camera in the correct way. Then you got to have the microphone, and then you got that bell. So there's some stuff that goes into it, of course. And if you've never done it before, you learn just like anything else. And if you read any of the posts that I put out there or any of my other videos, nobody knows what they're doing when they first start something. Nobody knows. But the more you do it, the more confidence you get. And your skill level goes up. When you're with your confidence goes your skill level. If you want to improve, if you try to improve upon the things that you're doing, if you really care to want to do a good job, I talked about, again, no, I'm not going to talk about myself. So, so what does EmDeM Life Architects do? What can EmDeM Life Architects do for you? Because I don't think a lot of people really understand the concept here. So I'm going to try to explain a little bit better for you. I always like using the analogy of a house, and the analogy of a car. So if you were to think about it, you need imagination, you need creativity, you got to be able to think outside the box, what they say. There shouldn't even be a box to think outside of in the first place. But if you have some imagination, if you have some creativity, you can customize your own house. I talk about the kitchen, where you're going to put the refrigerator, where you're going to put the sink. Are you going to have a big sink, a dual sink, a big spout, whatever? The tiles on the floor, where the cupboards are going to go, where the range is going to go, where the stove, where the microwave, all that stuff. You can design it however, if you're going to have a big island in the middle, where the dining area is going to be. So that's just the kitchen. And then you have the entertainment room. Then you have your bedrooms, the master bedroom, the ensuite, the bathrooms, the basement, your landscaping, your yard. If you have some creativity, but you have to be able to model it off something else, unless you can picture it in your mind when you go to look at a particular house, or the particular house that you would like to blueprint for yourself, which a lot of people don't have that creativity. So I will help you through your creativity to ask you enough questions to get your mind's eye to be able to think and see within your mind's eye about what exactly you might want to do. That's what these what are they called? These vision boards do for your subconscious. We talked about the subconscious mind. These vision boards, when you put them in front of you, whatever is in front of you that repeated content over and over and over and over and over and over and over. No, did I say and over again? Goes into your subconscious mind, and that's where your moods and your feelings and your emotions, if you get really excited about all that stuff, and it talks about in here a burning desire to have that or achieve that or to experience that, then eventually that will become your reality. Tony Robbins talks about what you focus on becomes your reality in actuality, even though it's not your reality in actuality, if that makes any sense. So what's going on up in your head, what you focus on in your head, that's your life. That's what you're continuously, and that either causes you depression, it causes you stress, it causes you anxiety, or it causes you joy, it causes you like happiness, it causes you like peace, it causes you like excitement. So what type of life would you rather want to live? And if these things are going on, we got a blueprint that'll go over positive and negative emotions to see which ones you are feeling on a regular basis. And from there, I'm going to move this microphone so I'm not like speaking in Am I speaking into the microphone so you can hear me? I should just be able to talk like this, right? A little bit more of my practicing doing media coverage here when I'm supposed to be talking, doing the news, right? That deserves a bell. So my point is, you can customize, if you can customize a house with all the different areas of the house, what your front entrance is going to look like, how tall the walls are going to be, carpets, tiles, paint, all that kind of stuff. It's all going to have a nice even scheme together. If it's a bunch of contradicting things, it might not look that good. So it's all going to kind of meld together. So at EmDeM Life Architects, we do that with your life. We do that with your life. So we get you to draw an ideal life blueprint. What does that mean? We get you to draw an ideal life blueprint. So how you want your mind to work, your mental health, where you want your mind to go on a regular basis. So we deal with your mental health. That's first and foremost. Then we deal with your emotions. What emotions do you want to feel on a regular basis? We get you to write that out. Do you want to feel joy, peace, patience, kindness, gentleness, self-control, self-discipline, excitement, adventure, all these, love, all these different kinds of emotions? Those are the good ones. And then, or do you want to feel anger or rage or depression or anxiety or fear or scarcity? Those ones are going to make you like depressed if you feel those on a regular basis. If you feel happiness and joy and pleasure and excitement and adventure and peace and self-discipline and self-control on a regular basis, those are the ones that are going to make you a better life. Even though there's pain and suffering, the pain can be, you have to look to the pain and the suffering as building blocks. I talked about it. Learn to love the things that you don't like to do, but those things that you learn to love to do are building blocks for your future. If you don't love going to the gym, learn to love to go to the gym because it makes you feel so good. It gets you to build some muscle. If you don't like going for a walk, learn to love walking, learn to love nature, learn to love reading good books, learning to be in good environments. If you hate all this stuff, it's not going to be a good time for you. So you have to find a way to love doing these things. Because if you don't, then you know where that takes you. So we help you design a life. So your mental capacity, your emotional capacity. Then we move on to your spiritual life. We're believers in Jesus Christ, the Bible, biblical principles, and God the Father and the Holy Spirit. That's what I believe most people, but again, I can't force you to do this. You're going to believe what you believe. This is where I would like to direct you, and this is where I'd like to get you to go. This is where I believe people should go, but you're going to believe whatever you want to believe. Because I believe the biblical principles, Jesus Christ, God the Father, and the Holy Spirit, when you combine all these things together, are going to make for a firm foundation in your life. I'm not going to force my beliefs upon you. You can believe whatever you want, and you probably will circle back around and get into the biblical principles and invite Jesus Christ into your life, because that's the best way to go about doing it. There's only one way to go into heaven. That's what Jesus said, so I'm going with that. You can believe whatever you want. But this is how we build it. This is how we build it. Spiritual beliefs. And then that's very important. That's your foundation, going from your mental capacity, your emotional capacity to your spiritual belief. That's something bigger than you that created the whole entire thing. It just wasn't the big bang because things are so intricately made perfectly. Like if you think about the human body, how it was made perfectly, how the stars are aligned perfectly, how the sun is aligned perfectly with the earth and the moon and the rotation to have day and night and all of that type of stuff. It's all perfect. God's design. So we go over your spiritual life. Then we go over your physical body, which I talked about right at the beginning of the show here, as how we build every body part. We build your body. So to build your body, again, all these things are synchronistic together. We build your body with nutrition plans, with exercise plans, with weight training plans, with stretching, with the whole kit and caboodle, breathing, all these things putting together. And then this is how you put together a customized life. Just like you're putting together a customized house, you have to put all these puzzle pieces together. Then when you build your mental health, your emotional health, your spiritual health, and then a healthy body, then you want to have some healthy relationships. So we teach you how to have healthy relationships. The Bible, biblical principles, again, tell us that the two foremost commandments are to love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your soul, with all your strength, with everything you got. So you love God. And then the one that goes with that one, the second foremost commandment, but they're combined together, is to love your neighbors yourself. So in order for you to love God and to love your neighbor and to love yourself, you first have to love God. Because if you don't love God, you're not going to be able to love yourself. You're not going to be able to love your neighbor, because you're made in the image of God. So first you have to love God. And then when you love God, you have the ability to love yourself. And then when you love yourself, you have the ability to love your neighbor. And that's the trinity of that. So to build relationships, golden rule, Jesus said, love one another as I have loved you. Treat one another as I have treated you. So however you treat yourself, however you treat others, you get the mirror effect back. So treat others how you would want to be treated. So that's how you build relationships. How many different relationships do you have? Okay, you have friendship relationships with people who are just friends. You have co-worker relationships with people who are your co-workers if you have a job, or people that are in your business environment. Then you have, if you're playing on a sports team, you have your teammates, you have coaches, you have teachers, you have volunteers, you have all these different people that you have to build. Even people that don't even know when you go to the grocery store, people that you're driving on the streets with. You have a relationship with all these different peoples in different ways. And then your intimate relationship, which is your most intimate relationship, whether you have a husband and a wife, or a boyfriend or girlfriend, or however that looks for you, that's your intimate relationship. So we put all these together for you. And they're all encompassing, but they're all different, because there's different relationships that are in your life that you need to be able to navigate in different ways. So we help you build that relationship. Relationships are very important in your life, and that makes life a lot more fulfilling and lasting when you have good relationships with good people. You have to pick your people wisely, ladies and gentlemen. So we help you build relationships. So let's go. Mental capacity, emotional capacity, spiritual health, physical health, healthy relationships. What's the next one? Finances, money. Yes, everybody wants the green stuff. Everybody wants to have hundreds and hundreds and thousands and tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars. Everybody wants the money. But if I were to ask you the question, okay, if you had $10 million today, what would you do with the money? I know exactly what I would be doing with the money if I had $10 million today. So that's what it's going to grow to, 10 million bucks. What would you do with the money? Would you pay off your house? Would you pay off your brothers and sisters' house? Would you pay off your mom's house or your father's house? Would you buy them another house? Would you build them another house? Would you build yourself a house? Would you start looking after your body? Would you give some money to charity? Would you invest a certain portion of that? Would you build a facility for the less fortunate where you can feed, clothe, and house people, and you can teach them how to be able to live their lives and grow their lives and customize their lives? Would you build a sporting facility that would help inner city youth be able to build better relationships within their communities and be able to give them the opportunity to play sports and learn sports and have all that type of stuff? What would you do with the money? Would you just blow it on a whole bunch of crap? That's entirely up to you. So we teach you how to have a money blueprint. And then your money blueprint comes from back in the day with your parents, usually, and your mental program. If you grew up in a household where they told you money doesn't grow on trees, we have to watch how much we spend. We don't have enough money. We have lack. We have scarcity. We never have enough money. We never have enough money. We're paycheck to paycheck. We're bills. I got to pay my bills. This is how you speak. Oh, this is too expensive. I can't get this. This is too expensive. And this is how you've been raised and programmed. Then that's how your life's going to be. But if you raise the standard, if you raise your blueprint and you raise the way everything goes, you still have to take actions. Actions are the key to all of this stuff. You just can't think it. You have to take actions on it, and then you have to believe it, and then you have to take actions on your belief systems and the choices that you make to be able to do this. So raise your standard. If you're making $1,000 a month, what about making $2,000 a month? If you're making $2,000, what about making $4,000 a month? If you're making $4,000, why can't you make $8,000 or $10,000 a month? If you're making $10,000, why can't you make $20,000? So that's how you raise. What do you have to do to make a little bit more money? And then what are you going to do with that money? You have to know how to manage it, and you have to respect it, because money attracts to people who are going to use it wisely. God gives money to people who are going to give it back and use it wisely and invest it wisely. Put your money to work for you. I talk about trading. I talk about real estate. I talk about all these things. Put it into things, asset value, and give you cash flow over time. And invest in different people who are going to be helping you along the ride, right? You have to invest in your education. You got to invest in coaching. You have to invest in your intelligence level. So you have to keep putting it back in, and you keep getting it back given into you. you'll reap what you sow. So make sure that you sow good seeds. Sow good seeds. And then we go over your career and education. If you have a business, we can go over your business as well. So we help you customize and put these things all together in a good, firm foundation, solid for you, customized to your life, to your level of success that what you deem is success for you. Everybody's going to be a little bit different. So whatever you choose as success, whatever you choose as your custom life, that is yours. You can do whatever it is you want to do. That's the main theme. You can create whatever life you want to create, but there's a recipe for it. You have to follow certain things. So if you want to have a certain body, there's a recipe for it. You have to follow certain techniques. If you want your arms to look a certain way, if you want your glutes to look a certain way, your chest, whatever it may be, you have to do certain things in order to get that, and then measure it. You have to eat a certain way. You have to lift weights a certain way. You got to do cardio a certain way. If you want to earn $1 million, you have to do certain things to get that money with your expenditures and with your revenues and how you spend your money and where you put your money and how you invest your money. Certain things, I teach you how to do that. And we put it all together. Your recreational activities, where you want to live, all that stuff, teach you how to do that. That's how we customize your life. So if you're not liking the way things are going, you have to make some changes. You have to do different things. And I think everybody knows what to do. I think you all know what to do, but you need somebody to keep you accountable. If you can keep yourself accountable, if you can keep yourself responsible, if you can keep yourself doing those things, and a coach does that. Any good sports team has a good coach. Any good sports team has multiple coaches for each position. I know in football, you have your head coach, then you have your position coach, you got your offense and defensive coordinators. And within those offense and defenses, on defense, then you got your defensive backs, and then you have positions within the defensive backs, and on defense you have your linebackers, and on defense you have your defensive linemen, and there's certain positions within those, and each person has another responsibility, and there's a position coach for each one, position coach, and then there's a technique coach, and then from there you might have on the offense, and you have the running backs and the quarterbacks and the receivers and all these types. So you have a position coach for each one of these guys. So if there weren't coaches to be able to draw up the plays and to be able to coach you on the fundamentals of your position, which I do the whole and kit and caboodle to be able to show you what to do, because I've done it my whole entire life, and I'll continue to do it my whole entire life. And I'll share my knowledge with you, which you already know. I'm just learning is remembering, isn't it? The more you remember, the more you're learning. That's how it goes. And some people may not even know what I'm talking about, but we'll get you to know what I'm talking about. So that's what we do at EmDeM Life Architects. We customize the life for you. Now, that being said, what's holding you back from customizing the life you want? What's holding you back from doing the things that you want to do? That's what we're going to get into. Again, we got it in here. If you have not gone to www.growrichlife, you can get this book for free. All you got to do is pay for the shipping. That's where you got to go. You go to www.growrichlife.com. That's attached to EmDeM Life Architects. I have an affiliation with Russell Brunson that has allowed me to direct you to this book. I get a small cut from that. But it's peanuts for what you got to pay to do what you got to do. The book's free. You just got to pay for shipping. But then the amount of knowledge in here, if you put it into application on a daily basis, it's like, hello, it's a guidebook. It's a step-by-step, just like the Bible is a step-by-step. This gives it in practical terms. And there's so many examples of people that have used this book. Within the book, he interviewed 500 of the world's most successful people back in his day of what they had in common, all the things they had in common. So that being said, we're going to go over the 30 major causes of failure and how many of these causes are holding you back from what you're going to do in your life. There could be excuses, but they're legitimate, because I've probably gone through I've probably done all of these ones. I've probably done them all myself, which is like, that's just kind of how it is. So number one is an unfavorable hereditary background. There is but little, if anything, which can be done for people who are born with a deficiency in brain power. This philosophy offers but one method of bridging this weakness through the aid of the mastermind. Observe with profit through the aid of the mastermind. Only one of the 30 causes of failure, which may not be easily corrected by any individual. So the mastermind, we talk about the mastermind principle. If you have unfavorable hereditary background, you need the mastermind principle. What does mastermind mean? It means getting people together that have like minds, who want to achieve, who want to do better, who want to give back, who want to raise the standard, who want to live life to the fullest, who want to make sure that they're doing good, the people around them are doing good, and the communities are doing good. Those are the types of people who want to do good things, who want to do the right things, who want to improve society, who want to improve themselves, who want to make their families better. You put yourself around these people, these are the people that are going to be in your mastermind groups when you get them all gathered together. So unfavorable hereditary background is one. That may be you. I don't know. Lack of a well-defined purpose in life. You may have a lack of a well-defined purpose. You might have no purpose in your life. You might just getting up in the morning and have no reason why you're getting up in the morning. So what does it say? There's no hope of success for the person who does not have a central purpose or definite goal which to aim. 98 out of every 100 of those whom I have analyzed had no such aim. Perhaps this was the major cause of their failure. So he said 98 of every 100 of those who I have analyzed had no definite aim or purpose in life. So if you don't have a definite aim and purpose in life, my purpose is to make things better, to help people design lives. Because if they don't think they can do what they need to do, I'll help you design your life, the whole kit and caboodle, or we pick one thing at a time, doesn't matter. And we'll help you design a business that you'd love to live. A business that you'd love to live, a business that you would love to operate or be in or to grow. That's what I do. Again, I got example over example over example over example of doing this type of stuff my whole entire life. So I'd love to do it for you. So lack of a well-defined purpose is another one. So if you don't have that, that's holding you back. You need to. So this is why it's so. That's why there's not many people that succeed, because not many people want to do this. It's like, that's too much work. I don't even know what he's talking about. So you have to study this. It just doesn't happen overnight. You have to be doing it. It has to be embedded in your physiology. And that's why, again, majority of people don't do this. So the number 3, lack of English, please. A lack of ambition to aim above mediocrity. The lack of ambition to aim above mediocrity. So here's the mediocre level and below. So if you think of a pyramid, you know the old pyramid scheme. So the people at the top get like the majority of the money, and then all that. It's totally true, because the majority of people that are at the bottom lack ambition to aim above mediocrity. You got to be able to level yourself up. It's like a video game. If you don't have the skill levels to get past level 1, then you're going to be stuck at level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, level 6. So the more skills that you get, the higher the levels. If you can get past level 1, that guy's easy. Get past level 2, that guy's easy. Level 3, that guy's easy. I brought water today. So you have to get better skills to be able to get up the ladder of the levels, right? Video game analogy. There we go. So people have a lack of ambition to aim above mediocrity. Insufficient education. Watch the EMDEM show. You'll be educated a lot better than you will in school. In our systems of school, I hate to say it, you don't learn a lot about how to operate life properly. This is, again, my curriculum, and it's not my curriculum. I just stole it from people that already put it out there, and I'm just teaching it in my own way, of course. So the curriculum, you talk about your mental capacity. You program your brain properly, subconscious and conscious mind. And then you're in control of your emotions. And your spiritual lever, Jesus Christ, biblical principles, God the Father, Holy Spirit, put those into your spiritual, build a relationship, put that into your spiritual realm. Then you build your finances, then you build your body, then you build your relationships, then you build your career, then you build your education. Insufficient education. So you have to have knowledge in all these things. What does it say? This is a handicap which may be overcome with comparative ease. Experience has proven that the best educated people are often those who are known as self-made or self-educated. You gotta take the bull by the horns and get yourself educated, folks. Personal developments. There's so many people in the personal development world. You got Dean Graziosi, you got Tony Robbins, you got Russell Brunson, you got Jim Rohn, you have John Maxwell, you have Alex Hormozy, and the list can go on. And there's so many people that are into it these days and just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So if you never heard of personal development and you don't know what it means working on yourself, taking a look in the mirror. You go to the mirror, take a look at yourself. It's like, who am I and what am I doing here? What is my purpose in my life? Why am I here? What do I get up for every single morning? If you don't have that, then you're going to have to try and find that, or else, again, you're going to be depressed. You're going to be in anxiety. You're going to be in fear. You're going to be in scarcity, and things aren't going to be good for you. Again, it's right here. These aren't my ideas. They're right here. So if you have insufficient education, get an education and get a real life education. So you learn life, you learn business, that you can actually build real life skills that are going to make you better. A lack of self-discipline. So I'll put my hand up to all of these at one given time, and some of them I probably even have right now that I need to work on. So a lack of self-discipline. That's I can go there. Discipline comes through self-control. That's one of the fruits of the spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, and self-control. That means like controlling yourself. When you're not going to do that because it's not going to be good for you. You're not going to eat that for as long. So to be able to self-discipline yourself, to do the things that you need to do to get done to make your life better. So most people have a lack of self-discipline. I can relate. Before you can control conditions, you must first control yourself. Self-mastery is the hardest job you'll ever tackle. Self-mastery. Are you the master of yourself? Can you master your bad habits? Drinking, smoking, gambling, drugs, women, sex, porn, poor food, junk food, bad habits, all that stuff, laziness. Can you control all that in yourself? Are you the master over your domain? Very important. So ill health is the next one, number 6. Ill health. No person may enjoy outstanding success without good health. Again, we do that. We do all this stuff in Life Architects. And there's a bunch of different things that contribute to your bad health. Overeating of food is not conducive to health. Wrong habits of thought, giving expression to negatives. We talked about that. Wrong use and overindulgence in sex. We just talked about that. Lack of proper physical exercise. We just talked about that. And inadequate supply of fresh air due to improper breathing. So get out in nature and breathe in some fresh air. Breathing techniques. Boom. Number 7. This is gonna go pretty long. That's okay. We got time. We're only 30 minutes in. Unfavorable environmental influences during childhood. So I made a post on someone's page. I'm not going to say who it is because I'm not going to point them out. Unfavorable environmental influences during childhood. So in my experience, in my belief, most parents don't know how to parent, and most teachers and coaches really don't know how to coach. There's only a handful that really know how to do that. If you've been to school, if you've been to university, if you've been coached by any coaches, they really don't know how to coach, and they really don't know how to teach. So it says it right here: unfavorable environmental influences during childhood. So if you had a terrible parents who didn't know how to parent you, if you had terrible coaches, if you had terrible teachers, as the twig is bent, so shall the tree grow. Most people who have criminal tendencies acquire them as a result of bad environments and improper associates during childhood. So I don't know why, but I hung around like the worst possible people in childhood, like the delinquents, the people that were having sex, doing drugs, smoking cigarettes, smoking dope, doing drugs, like I said, drinking a bunch of booze. And I was privy to some of it, of course. I did some of it myself. And again, your peer group. If you're around the wrong peer group, you're going to do the wrong things, right? If you're around the wrong people, you're going to do the wrong things. So put yourself in the right environments, make right choices, put yourself in the right environments, and start doing the right things. You can see how things will change totally for you. So number 8, procrastination. This is one of the most common causes of failure. Old man procrastination stands within the shadow of every human being, waiting his opportunity to spoil one's chances of success. So the more you procrastinate, if you don't know what procrastination, it means just like putting it off till tomorrow, 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 putting it off putting it off till tomorrow. Take action as quickly as you can. Gather as much information you can. If you can't gather any more information, make a decision, make a decision, make a decision. And then just keep making quick decisions. Money likes speed, success likes speeds, people like speed. But again, you don't want to go too fast, and you still have to be able to analyze certain things, especially in relationships. You have to be able to like know what's going on and be able to decipher the information that's given to you. Any red flags that go up, red flag. If there's red flags, then slow down and back up and like reanalyze what's going on, of course. Lack of persistence is number 9. Most of us are good starters, but poor finishers. So lack of persistence. If you try once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and you quit and you're done, it's not going to work for you. You have to keep going. What Thomas Edison found 10,000 ways that the light bulb wasn't going to work on the 10,000th first try. He made it work. So he was persistent. If you're not persistent, if you can't take failure, if you can't take pain, if you can't take criticism, you can't take suffering, then it's probably not going to work for you because you're too soft. You're too fragile. You have to have a little bit of thick skin to be able to take all this stuff, because that's what it takes for you to be able to push forward, to be persistent over and over and over and over and over and over and over again until it actually works, until it actually happens. Most people, I want quick pleasure. I want this to happen right away. I want all this stuff right away. It's like, no, you're in it for the long haul, ladies and gentlemen. You got to take the sprinter out, even though there's times to sprint. You're on a long journey, so it's a marathon. It's a marathon, so you got to pace yourself. Pace yourself. But there's certain sprints where you have to sprint and do a whole bunch. Then you do some, then you sprint and do a whole bunch, then you do some. But you're always continually doing the right things, moving yourself forward. So that's a negative personality is number 10. So are you a negative Nelly? You find the hole in a donut instead of seeing the donut. Do you pick out like every little imperfection everywhere? That's what you're looking for the whole entire time, is perfections and imperfections in everything. We're looking at the positive. And you have to be careful with this too, because people will take advantage of you. If you're looking for the positive in everything, you still have to be aware of the negative things, but that's not where you put the majority of your energy. You don't put the majority of your energy into all the imperfections. You put your energy into the things that are going to make it work. Just like if you have employees, 80-20 rule, Pareto principle here again. 20% of your employees are going to produce 80% of your work. 20% of your customers are going to produce 80% of your revenue. That other 80%, they're usually a waste of time. So if you're on a team, again, everyone's a part of the team, right? But there are certain performers that if you get the 20% of the performers, you put your attention on them, and then they can help the rest of the team out. These guys are always going to lag behind a little bit, but they're still going to be contributors. And even if you have customers, 20% of your customers, 20% of your stocks, 20% of everything is going to give you 80% of your results. So that's where you have to be able to figure out where that 20% is in your life. 20% of the activities each day are going to give you 80% of the results you're looking for. So figure out what that core value is, or core goal is, or core action is during the course of your day that you need to take that's going to move the needle forward in a positive direction at that 80%. And 80% of the things that aren't really worth doing. Even though you still need to be done, you can probably dictate them to somebody else, or you can say, okay, you do this and you can do this, and you can delegate is the word I was looking for, not dictate. Delegate to somebody else to do them and pay them a wage. But some people just like getting paid $10 an hour, $50 an hour, $20 an hour. Are you kidding me? Well, I remember when I was getting paid $5 an hour. Yeah, I even got paid $20 an hour, like not long ago, just to help a guy out and do some just for fun. Which is like, yeah. So I've done a lot of crappy jobs in my time, and I've done a lot of good jobs, and I figure out what works and I figure out what doesn't work. And I've been around the worst possible people there are to be around. I've been around the best possible people there are to be around. So I know the differences. Maybe you know the differences too, but I'd rather be around the right people doing the right things for the right reasons, because the people that are whining and moaning and bitching, that's where we're negative personality. That's the next one. Negative personality. There's no hope for success for the person who repels people through a negative personality. So you have to have a pleasing personality, positive mental attitude, pleasing personality. If you have a negative personality, you're whining and moaning, complaining a bit. You have that dark cloud around you the whole entire time. Not many people are going to want to be around you. So you have to get a better personality, will ya? And we'll help you build one. EmDeM Life Arkitex. Get a better personality, will ya? Yes. Be the person that people want to have around, that you attract good people, that you always think the good things are going to happen. Lack of controlled sexual urge. Ooh, lack of controlled sexual urge. This is an interesting one. Keep your zipper in your pants, gentlemen. And you keep your zipper in your pants on too, ladies, and your boobs in your shirt. If that's going to help you. Yes, it will. Lack of controlled sex energy is the most powerful of all stimuli which move people into action. Sex gets people into action. Sexual beings, humans are sexual beings, are we? It's supposed to be a biblical principle. That's why I'm not going to get into this deep, but I'm just going to say this. Whether you agree with it or not, you don't have to. Biblical principle, there's a reason why God wanted you in the sanctity of marriage to be able to have sex, as opposed just to having it for pleasure. God made sex to consummate the marriage in love because you both love each other. And this is how it's supposed to be. You have two people that love each other and you consummate it with sex. And then from there, you have the ability to have children. And the only way men and women, notice I'm using men and women, mom and dad, because that's the way it is. And there's no other way. Male, female, men, women, mom and dad can have sex when they're in love in a holy union of marriage together. And then you have kids together, and then the kids will actually be loved because you are loved. And the only way for you to do this is you have to love God first to be able to have the union of marriage. If you love God first and love yourself and you love your neighbor, but you have to genuinely love God, and then you'll find the love of your life. Then you can have sex, and then you can have children in love, created through love and God's love and your love for each other. If that makes sense, can I get booyah? But how many people do that? Again, not very many. Very, very few do it that way. Very, very few. That's why biblical principles are so important, because it's done the right way. The way that it's supposed to be done. The way it should be done. The way it could be done. The way it's supposed to be done. That's the way it's supposed to be done. So, yeah. And that's, yeah, I'm not going to touch that any further than that. Number 12, uncontrolled desire for something for nothing. The uncontrolled desire to get something for nothing. I've been there. I wanted something for, everyone wants something for nothing. There's no free lunch, ladies and gentlemen. What does it say? The gambling instinct drives millions of people to failure. Evidence of this may be found in a study of the Wall Street crash of 29, during which millions of people tried to make money by gambling on stock margins. Ooh, it's interesting. People try to make money by gambling on the stock margins. Stock market's good, but you got to be careful. Got to be careful, right? You don't put all your eggs in one basket. You got to have your diversified portfolio of asset allocation. Very important. Uncontrolled desire, something for nothing. Lack of a well-defined power of decision. Lack of a well-defined power of decision. So what does that mean? Men who succeed reach decisions promptly. They're not hitting, oh, I don't know, maybe I should do I should maybe do let me think about procrastinate. That's procrastination's friend right here. They reach decisions promptly and change them, if at all, very slowly. Men who fail reach decisions, if at all, very slowly and change them frequently and quickly. See? Boom. So if you're going to make a decision and stick to it. And that's what you're going to do. Don't keep changing this, that, and the other. That's what you're going to do. That's what you're going to do. And if you make a change, make it slowly. One or more of the 6 basic fears. These fears have been, that's number 14, have been analyzed for you in a later chapter, and they must be mastered before you can market your services effectively. Ooh. Market your services, the main fears. That we're going to go to that. Let's check that one out. I want to see if I can find that. The 6 main, let's see if we can find those puppies here. That's that might have to be another episode. Sorry, folks. We'll make that into another episode, because I just got to do these. We'll be here a long time, which is fine. But yeah, we'll make that another episode. We've done that before. So wrong selection of a mate in marriage. I've done that. Wrong selection of a mate in marriage is another one of them. This is the most common cause of failure. The relationship of marriage brings people intimately into contact. Unless this relationship is harmonious, failure is likely to follow. Harmonious. Marriage has to be harmonious. Just so you know. If you didn't already know. Over caution. Number 16. The person who takes no chances generally has to take whatever is left when others are through choosing. Take a chance. Is that a song? Take a chance on me. Take a chance on me. Number 17, wrong selection of associates in business. This is almost like marriage. If you pick the wrong people in your business, then that's not going to be too good for you. Pick the right people. Choose wisely. Put them through a stringent. I think this happened when we had everybody cross the border, when we had all these immigrants crossing the border. Choose your people wisely that you want to let into your business, into your country. Choose your people wisely. So they got to be vetted. They got to be they have to have certain qualifications and attributes and values and ethics and morals and standards and goals in order to be let in, right? That makes sense? Yeah. Superstition and prejudice is number 18. Superstition is a form of fear. It is also a sign of ignorance. Men who succeed keep open minds and are afraid of nothing. Whoa. Hello. Number 19, wrong selection of a vocation. No man can succeed in line of endeavor which he does not like. So you got to be able to like it, right? Love the things that you do. Find ways. If you don't love what you're doing, get out and find something that you love to do, right? Find something that you love to do that gives you juice, that gives you energy, that gives you like, I can't wait to get up in the morning to do what I need to do to get done what I need to get done. If you dread getting up in the morning to go to a job that you hate, to a boss that's a moron, and employees that are just like, get out of my face, then you might want to think about changing that up a little bit. But take your time. Just don't take your time, because there's a process behind that too. And I've done that wrong as well. Which is fine. But you learn. God always helps you out. God helps you out in so many different ways. If you have the relationship, you have to have the relationship, of course, and he helps you out. Build that relationship. What's the next one? Wrong. Lack of concentration of effort. That's number 20. The jack of all trades seldom is good at any. Concentrate all your efforts on one definite chief aim. Concentrate your efforts on one definite chief aim. Don't be doing this and this and this and this and this. One chief aim. One chief aim. One chief aim. One definite purpose and one chief aim. The habit of indiscriminate spending. The spendthrift cannot succeed, mainly because he stands eternally in the fear of poverty. Form the habit of systematic saving by putting aside a definite percentage of your income. We talk about this all the time. Money in the bank gives one a very safe foundation of courage when bargaining for the sale of personal services. Without money, one must take what is offered and be glad to get it. If you have lots of money, you get to pick your price, ladies and gentlemen, because it's like, I'm worth about $10,000 an hour. At least $10,000 an hour. Instead of $10 an hour? Are you kidding? No. Next one, number 22, is a lack of enthusiasm. Do you have a lack of enthusiasm? Do you have a lack of energy? Do you have a lack of like, come on, let's go. What are you guys waiting for? Are we going to get this done? Let's get a move on here. Without enthusiasm, one cannot be convincing. Moreover, enthusiasm is contagious, and the person who has it under control is generally welcome in any group of people. So do you have enthusiasm to get things rocking and rolling? The sleeve. Got to roll that up. Doesn't look professional, right? That don't look too professional on there, which is fine. It's okay. Number 23, we're on 23, got 7 more. Intolerance. The person with a closed mind on any subject seldom gets ahead. Intolerance means that one has stopped acquiring knowledge. The most damaging forms of intolerance are those connected with religious, racial, and political differences of opinion. So you got to be open to other people's opinion. You have to let them have their opinions, and you have your opinion. You still have to stand your ground on what you believe, and you allow people to believe what they want to believe, and let them be who they want, even though you might not agree with it. You have to allow them to be and have their opinion. That's what makes everything kind of like fluid. But you still have to watch out for people that are like doing wrongful things, you'll have to manage yourself accordingly if there's any violence or that type of stuff involved, right? Of course. Intemperance. The most damaging form of intemperance are connected with eating, strong drink, and sexual activities. Overindulgence in any of these is fatal to success. Intemperance is number 24. The most damaging forms of intemperance are connected with eating, strong drink, and sexual activities, because you guys can relate to those. So overeating, eating the wrong foods, strong drink is alcohol, drinking a bunch of alcohol, strong drinks, and sexual activities. Most damaging forms. Overindulgence in any of these is fatal to success. So be aware of that. If you want to succeed, get out of the bar, quit drinking, quit screwing everything that moves, and watch your nutrition plan, ladies and gentlemen. That's key. Number 25, inability to cooperate with others. Do you have the inability to cooperate with other people? Maybe, maybe not. Inability to cooperate. Most people lose their positions and their big opportunities in life because of this fault than for all other reasons combined. It is a fault which no well-informed businessman or leader will tolerate. You got to be able to cooperate with other people, because you can't just sit in the corner in your house all day, right? You got to be able to cooperate. Cooperation makes things move forward. Next, number 26. We're almost there. I know we're approaching an hour. We'll see if we can keep it under an hour. We're at number 20. Do we need to take a break? No, keep going. We're almost there. Get a little bit of water. We got to keep this under an hour. Possession of power that was not acquired through self-effort. Ooh. Possession of power that was not acquired through self-effort. Whoa. See what it says. Sons and daughters of wealthy men and others who inherit money which they did not earn, power in the hands of one who did not acquire it gradually is often fatal to success. Quick riches or more dangerous than poverty. Whoa. So, and why would that be? Like I've met people that are just like brats and spoiled, who did not earn the money they got, weren't in the trenches for a long period of time, going through the blood, the sweat, and the tears of earning the money they got, stole, spoiled, and self-destroy themselves. Self-destruct because they don't have any work ethic. They're able to get stuff for nothing without having to put in like that time and effort that people don't like to do nowadays and never really did like to do, but you got to put in that effort, right? Number 27, intentional dishonesty. There is no substitute for honesty. One may be temporarily dishonest by force of circumstances over which one has no control without permanent damage, but there is no hope for the person who is dishonest by choice. Honesty is your best policy. The truth will set you free, right? Enough said on that. Number 28, egotism and vanity. These qualities serve as red lights which warn others to keep away. They are fatal to success. So, ego, if you have a big ego, or you're vain, Mr. Vain, these are going to repel people. So, watch those ones, egotism and vanity. These qualities serve as red lights which warn others to keep away. They're fatal to your success. Red flags, red lights to stop. Oh, I don't want to deal with that person because she's too vain or too big an ego. I'm better than everybody else. You think you're better than everybody else, and your opinion is the only opinion that matters, right? No. Listen to all the different opinions that we have to cooperate. All these things kind of work together, right? That's number 28. Number 29. Guessing instead of thinking. Most people are too indifferent or lazy to acquire facts with which to think accurately. They prefer to act on opinions created by guesswork or snap judgments. So guessing instead of thinking. You want to think and not guess. Make inquired and informed decisions. Number 30, lack of capital. This is a common cause of failure among those who start out in business for the first time without sufficient reserve of capital to absorb the shock of their mistakes and to carry them over until they have established a reputation. Lack of capital. Under this, name any particular cause of failure from which you have suffered that has not been included in the foregoing list. So there's more than 30. So you can relate to those 30. If you can relate to those 30 things that are holding you back, things that are making you fail, that list is like pretty all inclusive, but I'm sure there's some more you can think of. All the things that are holding you back, and then how put a check mark. Which ones of these am I doing? If you're doing all of them, we got some work to do. If you're doing a couple of them, you got some work to do. If you're doing half of them, we got some work to do. We always have work to do, and we got to work on ourselves more than we got to work on anything else. Work on ourselves, work on our choices, work on our habits. And again, that's what we do here, like Life Architects. We have to get better at doing all of these things. So that's it. In these 30 major causes of failure is found a description of the tragedy of life which obtains for practically every person who tries and fails. It will be helpful if you can induce someone who knows you well to go over this list with you and help to analyze you by the 30 causes of failure. It may be beneficial if you try this alone. Most people cannot see themselves as others see them. You may be one who cannot. The oldest of admonitions is man, know thyself. If you market merchandise successfully, you must know the merchandise. The same is true in marketing personal services. You should know all of your weaknesses in order that you may either bridge them or eliminate them. You should know your strength in order that you may call attention to it when selling your services. You can know yourself only through accurate analysis. So you have to know yourself. Know thyself. Know yourself well. Know your failures, know your weaknesses, know where you fall short, and know your strengths, ladies and gentlemen. So we're under 60 minutes here. So again, this book, Think and Grow Rich, originally done by Napoleon Hill, forward by Russell Brunson. You can get this for free, plus a couple other golden nugget books. So 3 books for free. You just got to pay the shipping. And then that'll enter you into a whole new world. If the secrets of success, society, we're talking about being in the right environment with the right people at the right time, and programming your mind. And this is everything. Once you get into here, for a very low cost of the shipping of 3 free books that are going to be shipped to you, that will give you all of the things that you need to learn about yourself, for the self-analysis that you need to do, and the personal development that you need to do. And I'll walk you through it all. This is part of the program. Then you're on your way. You're on your way to making a better life for yourself and your family and everybody that is involved with you. You can make their lives better. Why wouldn't you want to do that? Why not? Again, most people do these failures. They love to fail. They're programmed that way. Got to get rid of the program, deprogram, reprogram, get the virus protection in here, and start doing the right things. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Coach Mike. Again, this is the EMDEM Show, episode 451. We're going to keep this under 60 minutes. Sponsored by the EmDeM Life Arkitex people who we build better bodies and we create better lives. That's as simple as it gets. And you athletes out there, I'd love to be able to reach every athlete in high school and university and college right now. Because if I were to go back to talk to my younger self, I did a lot of this stuff though. Some of the stuff in here, like the alcohol, the cigarettes, and the drugs, and hanging around the wrong people. If I would have eliminated that, eliminate that earlier and start investing in assets that are going to grow in value, plus give you a cash flow. Start eating better. Get away from the booze, get away from the sex, get away from the bad environments, get away from the people that are pulling you down because they're not going anywhere. So they're going to be jealous of you and envious of you. If you start going somewhere, they're going to figure, oh, I got to keep up with him or her. And I'm not willing to do that quite yet. I'm not ready to change my life. I'm not ready to change my habits. I'm not ready to make different choices. I'm not ready to look in the mirror and analyze myself and see how many wrong things that I'm doing on a regular basis that are contributing to my detrimental lifestyle, my overweightness, my foggy and blurry brain, my bad relationships, and my brokenness in my finances. I'm not ready to take a look at that yet, because then the finger will be pointed at me, at you. If you can go into the mirror and point the finger at you, say, I'm responsible, I'm accountable for my life. That's a very, very good day for you. When you say, I am responsible and I'm accountable for my life, I'm responsible for the choices that I make, and I'm responsible for the results that I create through the actions that I take every day. When you start taking the right actions, you get better results. Wrong actions get worse results. Simple as that. You reap what you sow. All right, we're just over an hour here. I apologize for being over an hour, but I love you guys. God bless you guys. Start taking better actions. Go to www.growrichlife.com. Get the free book. You got to pay for shipping. Get yourself into the Secrets of Success Society. You just got to give me your first name and email address. That gets you in to take a look at what Russell's got going on there. You click on get these books, pay the money. It's going to be the best money you've ever spent in your whole entire life. And then when you start getting these books into your mind, your heart, mind, and soul, it's going to be like a total different ball game for you, folks. You heard it here. If you haven't gotten into this yet, I wish, again, I would have started this back in elementary school. If someone would have showed me this stuff, I would have been so, let me know a little bit more, please. If you get this book and you start reading, it'll change your whole entire life. Like, you'll be able to earn more money. You'll be able to sculpt a good body. You'll be able to have a highly intelligent brain and be in control of your emotions. You'll be able to open your own business. You'll be able to call your shots in your career and your education. You'll be able to create better relationships with your parents, your brothers and your sisters, your boyfriend and your girlfriend, even your husband and your wife. You'll be able to create the best relationships ever if you get this book. But you just can't get the book and let it sit on the shelf, of course. You have to take the action to get the book, and then you actually have to open up the book and study it. You just can't read it. It's not like entertainment to read the book. You have to study it and implement it over and over and over and over again. Persistence. And you have to understand what it says. And that's where Bible comes in the relationship with God, because you get the understanding. He gives you eyes to see and ears to hear and wisdom and understanding. All right. Again, you don't have to believe me, but this is what I would recommend. If you want to be a guest on the EMDEM show, you're more than welcome to contact me. To be a guest, I'd love to have you. We can have a little discussion on life, business, and sport. All these different principles. We can do one principle at a time and have one show on one of the 30 failures. 30 shows, 30 failures. Boom. And there's so much more to dive down deep into this stuff. One word, accountability. If you just pick one word, you can have a total show. You have a week or a month episode on the word accountability. Accountability in what? Accountability in just my life. Accountability with my choices, accountability for keeping my space organized and clean, accountability for looking after my body, accountability for looking after my finances, keeping my home in order, keeping my family in order, accountability. Yeah. So accountability means a lot of different things, and we can go over a lot of areas with accountability. Okay, folks, I'm out of here. Love you guys. God bless you guys. It's been a slice. Thanksgiving this weekend in Canada. Hope you guys get some turkey in ya. Don't overeat too much. I know I do that sometimes, definitely, because food's so good, but you can't overeat. You can't always be over here. You'll be 400 pounds and your organs don't like it. Your brain doesn't like it. So see you guys soon. Again, if you want to be a guest on the show, get a hold of me. If you want to get a free life audit here at EmDeM Life Arkitex, get a hold of me. Just get a hold of me to have a conversation. Why wouldn't you? Get a hold of me somehow. I ain't hard to find. Tagline. Thank you, Coach Pram. Appreciate that. Let's roll. Let's go. And see you guys later. Have a good night.